allowed. The racism, the complete and utter disregard, the pure hatred seeping from all the pores of this great nation. It's too much to take. It's too much to burden. It is too much to bear. Oh, let's read this horribly racist flyer. Make Edison great again. Oh, Trump. Oh Lord, they use Trump. Oh, stop Jerry Shi and Faljuni Patel from taking over our school board. The Chinese and Indians are taking over our town with exclamation mark. Chinese school, Indian school, cricket fields. Oh, enough is enough. So it's so much. It's too much. All right. Okay. So, plot twist on racist flyers, a new embarrassment for Edison. This is an editorial written in the opinion portion of NJ.com by the Star Ledger editorial board. 3 years ago, bigoted and anti-Asian flyers calling to make Edison great again. I hate people that ape. Unleashed a tidal wave of outrage. They landed in mailboxes less than a week before Election Day, making international news and attracted tremendous sympathy for the two local board candidates targeted. The Chinese and Indians are taking over our town, the mailer read. And under photos of Jerry Shi, who is Chinese American, and Faljuni Patel, who is Indian American, the word deport was stamped. Hold on. Deport Jerry Shi. Deport Faljuni Patel. Now, the post office says it was a deliberate ruse mailed by Shi himself as a ploy to rile up his base, with help from other Democrats active in local politics. Among those accused are men of Indian or East Indian descent who've won seats on the school board or town council or served as a local delegate for Joe Biden. Seventh layer of hell. New Jersey is the seventh layer of hell. We don't know yet if it is true. Shi, who won his race that year, and the others vehemently deny it. But the Attorney General's office, which is investigating, has to get to the bottom of this. To have it all turn out to be self-inflicted would be incredibly depressing. A real black mark, no pun intended, on local Democrats in a town already synonymous with scandal. You know, my dad actually used to work at the Wakefern plant in Edison. And some of these folks remain in power, like A.J. Patil, an Edison councilman, or Shi and another man allegedly involved, Mohan Patel, two of the three projected winners in this year's school board election, once the final votes are tallied. Right now, the people of Edison have no way to judge if their local Democrats are complete sleazeballs who would deliberately foment racial strife in their own town just to gin up turnout. And I'm like, odds being what they are, because this continues to happen time and time again. Oh, this country, America, is so racist. This country is just, it hates people of color, you know. Oh yeah, 400 years, even though, you know, Chinese, Indian, come on, can we keep it a buck? But but no, this place is just so racist that they would really push that you know, people have to make themselves victims. It's amazing. It really is. The flyers were reported as a potential hate crime, and the cops called in postal inspectors, who discovered that somebody brought nearly $4,000 worth of stamps at Edison's post office shortly before they were mailed and paid for them with a credit card. The card holder turned out to be Sharik Ahmad, former head of the local Democratic Party, who refused to answer questions from the postal inspector. A curious choice for an innocent person, very much so. She also refused to cooperate and retained a lawyer. When later questioned before a town committee, she said he didn't speak to the postal investigators doing a forensic examination because he didn't want to relive the flyers. So good. It's so, like, oh, I don't want to relive the flyers. Yet The second candidate targeted by the mailer, Patel, did cooperate and doesn't appear to have anything to do with it, the post office report says. Postal investigators also traced a fingerprint lifted off of a flyer to an employee of a local Indian restaurant. That employee said his boss, restaurant owner, yeah, I'm not trying it, Patel, had instructed him to help put labels and stamps on the flyers, though he denied knowing what they were for. Patel told investigators the mailings were put together in his restaurant after he was asked to help with them by a prominent Democratic attorney and Biden delegate, Satish Pundi. Besides Pundi, the restaurant owner said several other men were involved. According to the Postal report, they include Shi, the candidate targeted in the flyer, Ahmad, who apparently brought the stamps, Patil, the councilman, and Mohan Patel, who appears to have just won a seat on the school board and is the cousin of Faljuni Patel, the other candidate pictured in the flyer. All right. The postal inspector's report relies on the testimony of the restaurant owner Patel, who was dismissed by the accused as a political rival with zero credibility. The AG's office can sort that out. Either way, it's par for the course in Edison, a town long bedeviled by numbskulls, from cops sexually propositioning women in traffic stops, robbing a bank, and firebombing the house of their captain, to a council president representing one of the state's largest Asian populations, who recently reshared on Facebook, "We don't eat Chinese food anymore, okay, black people, if you with me, repost." Super woke. Super woke. Attorney General Gruber Grewal's office needs to set the record straight on this. And if it turns out to be true, these clowns should resign in shame. So, I give NJ.com shit for being really trash, and they still are. But in this particular instance, with this editorial, yeah, thanks for pointing it out. Because, yeah, the hoaxes and the false narrative that so many have used, right? Like, oh, well, just hey, man, we could just find like racism in this country. Hey, man, you could just close your eyes and pick a direction, right? And you'll find it. When in reality, it's far more nuanced and complex than that, to a point where people have to make themselves victims because in order to, give themselves a leg up in sympathy, what it would seem in this case, sympathy for his election, and apparently it worked and he got into his position. So, guys, I want to give NJ.com some credit for this one. And real talk, Mr. Shi, if it does turn out to be the case, trash move, bro. Trash move. Seriously. But if Grewal gets into it, Grewal will get into it. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like this, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice, you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Patreon. Link in the description, and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah. This is just jacked up and par for the course at this point, where it's like it really feels like there's more hoaxes around racism than there is legitimate, oh my goodness, well, let's go tar them up racism out there now. I mean, at least in 2020. But you may disagree, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.